We use energy in all our daily activities such as walking, playing, driving, etc. This energy can only be obtained from the food we eat. Before the energy can be used by the cells of the body, it must be set free from the chemicals of the food. This process of liberating energy is called respiration and involves the use of oxygen and the production of carbon dioxide. Respiration includes two processes, namely inspiration and expiration. Inspiration is the active process, while expiration is the passive. As we know that energy in the body is supplied by the oxidation of foodstuffs like carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Most of the oxidations taking place in cells are of aerobic type, that is, they require oxygen as the oxidizing agent. This oxygen is taken from the atmospheric air by the lungs, from where it is carried to all the tissue cells by means of blood. In the course of metabolic oxidation of food materials in tissue cells, large quantities of carbon dioxide are produced, the bulk of which must be removed from the body. The carbon dioxide gas from the tissues is carried by blood to lungs, where it releases in the atmospheric air by expiration. These whole set of processes constitute the phenomenon of respiration. In short, we can say that the process of respiration involves the uptake of atmospheric oxygen by lungs, its transport to tissues by blood, then transport of carbon dioxide from tissues to lungs, and lastly its release from lungs into the atmospheric air. Next comes physiology of respiration. The physiology of respiration can be discussed under the following heads. Number 1, alveolar ventilation and gaseous exchange in the lungs. Number 2, transport of gases by the blood. Number 3, cellular respiration and oxidation. Alveolar ventilation and gaseous exchange in the lungs. In alveolar ventilation, the gas exchange area in the lungs includes the alveoli, alveolar sacs, alveolar ducts, and respiratory bronchioles. The rate at which new air reaches these areas per minute is known as alveolar ventilation. It may be calculated as VA equal to frequency Vt minus Vd, where VA equal to volume of alveolar ventilation per minute, frequency equal to frequency of respiration per minute, Vt equal to tidal volume, and Vd equal to physiologic dead space volume. With a normal tidal volume of 500 ml, a normal dead space volume of 150 ml, and a respiratory rate of 12 breaths per minute, the alveolar ventilation will be 4200 ml per minute. It is one of the major factors determining the concentration of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the alveoli. Next comes exchange of gases. Exchange of gases is of two types. A. Exchange of gases between alveoli and the blood, and B. Exchange of gases between blood and tissue cells. A. Exchange of gases between alveoli and the blood. The exchange of gases between lungs, alveoli, and pulmonary capillaries is called external respiration. The respiratory membrane through which gaseous exchange takes place consists of the lining of the alveoli, the endothelium of the capillaries, and the delicate interstitial connective tissue layer. The uptake of oxygen and the release of carbon dioxide by the blood of the alveolar capillaries can be explained by diffusion. That is, the gases pass from the regions of high pressure to those of low pressure. The pressure of the gas refers to the partial pressure that the gas exerts in a mixture of gases. If the atmospheric pressure at the sea level is 760 mm of mercury, the partial pressure of oxygen (PO2) in the alveolar air is about 100 mm of mercury compared with that of 159 mm of mercury for the oxygen in the atmosphere. Next, B. Exchange of gases between blood and tissue cells. The exchange of gases between blood and tissue cells is called internal respiration. The partial pressure of oxygen in blood capillaries is higher, that is 95 mm mercury, than that of the cells, 40 mm mercury, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in blood capillaries is lesser, that is 40 mm mercury, than that of the body cells, that is 45 mm mercury. Therefore, oxygen diffuses from the capillary blood to the body cells through tissue fluids, and carbon dioxide diffuses from the body cells of the capillary blood via tissue fluid. Now, the blood becomes deoxygenated. The latter is carried to the carbohydrate is present in RBCs, which accelerates its rate about 5,000 times. Due to this, about 70% of carbon dioxide received by blood from the tissues enters the RBCs, where it reacts with water to form carbonic acids. Carbonic anhydrase is exclusively found in RBCs. All carbonic acids of RBCs dissociates into hydrogen and bicarbonate ions. The most of bicarbonate ions formed within RBCs diffuse out into the blood plasma along the concentration gradient. Exit of bicarbonate ions considerably change the ionic balance between plasma and erythrocyte. To restore the ionic balance, the chloride ions diffuse from the plasma into the erythrocytes. This movement of chloride ions is called chloride shift Hamburger's phenomenon. Next comes transport of carbon dioxide as carbaminohemoglobin. In addition to reacting with water, carbon dioxide also reacts directly with amine radicals of hemoglobin to form unstable compound carbaminohemoglobin. This is a reversible reaction. A small amount of carbon dioxide also reacts in this same way with the plasma proteins. About 23% carbon dioxide is transported in combination with hemoglobin and plasma protein. Next comes cellular respiration and oxidation. The ultimate aim of all the respiratory activities is the cellular oxidation, that is, the aerobic breakdown of the digested food materials and the release of energy thereby. The breakdown of carbohydrate may be represented by the equation C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives 6 carbon dioxide plus 6 water plus energy, that is 686 kilocalorie per mole. The interrelationship of metabolic pathways of amino acids, simple sugars and fatty acids with the Krebs cycles is required. Thus, within each cell, glucose is first metabolized to pyruvic acid and then oxidized completely to carbon dioxide and water in aerobic conditions. From the above discussion, it can be concluded that in human beings, lungs are the respiratory organs. During respiration, oxygen diffuses from the alveolar air to the alveolar capillary blood. As the alveolar partial pressure of oxygen is higher than the partial pressure of the venous blood. Carbon dioxide diffuses in the reverse direction because the venous partial pressure of carbon dioxide exceeds the alveolar partial pressure of carbon dioxide. Most of the oxygen entering the blood combines with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. On reaching the lungs, oxygenation of blood causes release of carbon dioxide from both bicarbonate and carbaminohemoglobin. Carbon dioxide is released from the lungs into the atmosphere during expiration.